What's up? What's up? Back. I'm back. I'm back. Just watched this movie called Ready Player One. I think it's still out in theaters. Um, yeah, I just gave it away that I didn't watch it in theaters. But I mean, I like breaking down movies for the spiritual value of it. It's something I could do because I mean I'm starting not to like movies. So I mean, at least I could do is entertain myself by breaking down their deeper messages. But the reason I don't like them because it's like they're really just telling the same fucking story. Like this is literally another story about the Bible, even though they use nothing but virtual reality and game. Pretty much just about. I don't know if y'all seen the trailer or heard about it or the book or whatever, but it's pretty much about the world ending, or on the verge of ending, and this dude coming up with this virtual reality headset and whole little system where you can operate and live in, and the only thing you really gotta do outside of it is shit and eat. Other than that, you live your reality in there, and pretty much you got some goals and things and keys that you can unlock to become the true master, and shit, you can own that whole type shit. But the reason I said it's pretty much another story is, like I said, the world was ending, the world was falling, and pretty much the dude saved them from that world by creating a new world for them. And the the reason I say it's the Bible for a fact is because the world had that world that he created had fell into like capitalism, and pretty much corporations got into it because they was like, well, if we can get all the keys and own this bitch, we can truly capitalize on it. But how they was capitalizing on it then was by pretty much hiring people to work for them, and they gave people benefits for helping them find shit out for the system and shit like that. Like if they found any clues or anything, they'll get paid for it. They get bonuses and shit, but it pretty much benefit the corporation versus the other people that was individual people. And if they found it, they get their own shit. They get to do whatever they want if they win it or whatever. And the creator had pretty much died or left. I mean, I think that was kind of like the little one of the things you got to figure out for yourself. And his creation, like I said, got capitalized by the corporations, and he needed somebody else to pretty much save it from the corporations, because if the corporations would have got it, the people would have always been whole, because I mean everybody was in that system. Fuck, that was some long ass hair. Everybody was in the system, but I mean if they was in control, shit, if they was in true control, like no, like it'll be over for everybody in that hole. And yeah, pretty much how to I be fucking writing shit down and remembering shit, so I be skipping myself. But they made the corporation made people indentured slaves where they could work themselves off. Like say you got in trouble or something, and in the real world, like you'll work for them in the virtual world and shit like that. Like you'll be a virtual slave. Like they literally had people like in prison, and or you could be a voluntary slave where you could be like officer or some shit like that, or in the army or whatever, or you could even be a forced slave, like where they just hold you. They had all that shit in there, but pretty much whoever unlocked all the clues got three. Like you had each clue, well, each key you found unlocked the clue, and you needed all three keys to get the big, like the golden Easter egg, which is creation, which is access to the system, pretty much. Like I said, this is all about fucking religion at the end of the day. And what's funny in the shit, like people who found a lot of the clues, like not the key clues, but like clues to find the key, like they'll flock. Like, and I seen that as like religion or like veganism, like health or some shit like Bitcoin. Like all these things might work for you, but people want a quick change and like a quick savior, I guess. So like like fast cash, like and pretty much like they only grab the surface knowledge of this religion and all these things, and they never really get the true concept of these things, and they stay at the surface level and shit. Pretty much the waves of the people trying to find the clues died out. Like the clue would be in a library, and people would get like, it's like an Easter egg. Like I don't know if people play games. Like if you play games, you'll know. Like everybody be trying to crack. It's like on GTA, it's a mountain. Like they trying to get inside the hole to see what it is. It'd be a bunch of people making videos for it for a while until people get tired of it. But the truth is, one true game out there still trying to figure it out, like type shit. And that's more for like the occult people and the spiritual people in this world. Like Like all these people might try to find these different things, but we're gonna take religion, we're gonna take health, we're gonna take all these different things and just pull everything we can until we find the answers for ourselves and find our keys to unlock the shit. Like, let me see what else I wrote. The wave died. Yeah, the true secrets kept going. The corporations even tried to create a replica world where they could give you whatever you wanted if you joined their world. And pretty much why they was, I guess their world wasn't gonna last as long and their world wasn't as good of a creation. But so they were gonna just pretty much use it as a distraction for people to operate in that world, because they knew it was gonna end eventually. While they was gonna try to figure out the world that the other dude created, because he created, it was called the Oasis. What he created was pretty much perfect, and they was gonna try to crack all the codes when they pretty much took everybody out of it and made everybody go to their shit. They was gonna be operating in the real world while everybody was operating in the fake world. They knew they was gonna one day end. Even though they was both operating in fake worlds, it brought, you know, it was true freedom in the, well, it was, you know, the free will and all this shit was different. The confusing things that's still in this life that people don't understand. But yeah, this all is a reality. I mean, that's what it is. Like, this is all the illusion and it's all the distraction. That's what they tried to say at the end. And I guess I hope I remember to say it at the end. Or I guess I should say it now so I won't forget. But pretty much there was like, you need, the illusion is not real, reality is real. And they were saying, like, at the end when he became the king or whatever, the head honcho or whatever, he made 2 days off from the virtual world, where, you know, you have to be in the real world. And that's where I feel like they try to trick you in this world. They let you say, they'll say that world is an illusion, and when you come back out of that world, this world is real. But no, this world is an illusion too. And that's what the trick was, which I'll go fully into depth later. But the virtual reality was really the dream world. And like I said, they lied to us and they tell us they can give us anything in this world, while really everything we want is inside of us. Like, everything we dream is inside of us. We don't need to go outside of ourselves. When we know how to go internally, it's really nothing else somebody else can give you. And I mean, that's really what it is. Like, it's a scam. Like, they tell you to achieve your dreams in this world, do whatever you want in this world, try to accomplish whatever you want and goals in this world, but you already are your dreams. You already are achieving your shit simultaneously as you live. Like, and that's really the scam. Like, they're trying to figure out how to keep you out of their dream world while they got you distracted in this world, because they really don't have no power in that world. And they end up saying that in the movie. There was like, you know, the white dude from the corporation and shit getting into the virtual reality, and he got a little nigga in the real world, but his dude all swole in the virtual reality world. But that shit really don't mean nothing, because you're still about skills in the game world. The swollenness is just like the avatar. Like, but what's inside the avatar is really what matters. And he was like, oh, you thought, because he hit him with a couple combos or whatever. He was like, oh, you thought you got me or whatever. He was like, but you in my world. And he ended up fucking him up, the main dude, the main character of the movie. And that's like us. Like, these niggas can't operate in the dream world. If they ever came to the dream world, nigga, if they even had a chance, it would be like, we'll laugh at them. And then once we really realize when our dream is over, like when we realize what our true capabilities is over. And that's pretty much what they're saying was. But the universe has left so many clues. Like, even in Kung Fu Panda, like, Master Shifu was puzzled when he seen a scroll that was supposed to have the key and the answers for the chosen one, and it was just pretty much a golden reflection of yourself. Like, that's the answer. Like, the answer is self. Like, going in yourself, like being yourself. And Master Shifu, and a lot of people are like Master Shifu. They want this grand or amazing answer that's going to save us, but only the true answer is self, and you have to look yourself in the mirror and figure that shit out. And that's what that was in fucking with Kung Fu Panda, and like that's what a lot of this, like that's what this world is about. That's what these movies be trying to tell us. Like, a lot of people want to be saved, but they don't want to be told that they're the hero. Like, and that's what these movies are trying to tell us in all these different ways, but you have to just pretty much, I mean, just stop looking at these movies as a movie. Because I mean, yeah, this Ready Player One movie will get you distracted because it got all the gaming people, it got all the Street Fighters, it got Ninja Turtles, it got Iron Giant, it got all movie references, it got everything from 90s, 80s, 2000. So it's like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna get distracted by the different avatars and the illusions and shit, but it's really the true story you're supposed to be listening to. And when you hear that story, you be like, man, I heard the story before. And it's like I said, they don't know where the rebel's gonna come from, so they just making these different predictive programmings to hopefully program the rebel to be a certain type of way. Like they want you to try to, if you're a rebel, they want you to try to work with them and all these different things. But honestly, I can't even lie. The dude in this, the main character, knew that the corporations was full of bullshit. I don't know how long it took him to realize it, but he ended up realizing that they was full of shit. And the creator the creator of that virtual reality wouldn't have fucked with them corporations, and he didn't do a deal with them type shit. And that's really what we got to do. We have to realize these corporations not for us. They are capitalize on God. They are capitalize on His creation and keep us distracted as long as possible. Like, we are the creation. We are a part of all this shit. And also, when you watch movies, because this movie was more about, you know, a hero story or whatever, but when you watch these movies, look at it as like you're entering someone's mind, like somebody's dream realm. Like, even when you watching horror movies, like these people make horror movies, they really sick in the mind, and we be thinking, oh, it's a great movie and shit like that. Nah, these motherfuckers be weirdos. Like, niggas that be making movies, weirdos. When you really looking into the reality of like that, like, I stopped watching movies as just entertainment. I started watching movies as like intellecting, like, or internalizing what these people are thinking and what these people are truly trying to, what their messages really are. Because like when you listen to the music, you hear they might be talking about drugs and all this shit, but their deeper message is talking about the pain from the hood and all that shit. So yeah, when you watching these horror movies, yeah, it might not all be from his mind, but a lot of that shit is spawned from there. And this movie, like I said, is more an adventure and more of a what do you call it, imagination and shit like that, where you could explore his mind. That's what the virtual reality was. You got a chance to explore the dude that created his mind. But that's what we should do when we watch these movies. And that was one of the actual messages in the movie. Like the virtual reality, like he was so smart and he was so wise and he was so much of a loner. Like, he didn't even have a girlfriend and nothing like this. So the only way he really felt like he could share himself is by creating something that could explain his mind. And that's what most people do that are create, or artists. Like they're not really good at talking, and they're not really good at explaining themselves if that's not their art. They'd rather draw, they'd rather do that. And some people, even if they are like a comedian, they'd rather do stand-up and express their feelings than have a true sit-down with somebody type shit. Like, people express their shit through their craft. And you got to understand these horror movies and shit like that, who's creating these hoes? Like, not too many black people. I mean, dude from Get Out made a horror movie, but if you look at it, he made it from the black perspective of what our world and our reality really is. Like, what our horrors really is. It ain't these fucking spiritual things hunting people. You feel me? Like, we don't have those problems. They do, and that's what we see in their horror movies. But they tell us that we can create any of our dreams on this world, so we don't live in our dreams, pretty much. Like, it's the same scam. It's the same distraction. While they want us to accomplish dreams in this world, they got us, you know, sleep in our dream world. They got us distracted. It's the same shit. And it's the way they wanted to program us. Like, they want us to fall into that shit. Like, they want us to believe this world is the real world. And even though we might have virtual reality, that's that. But it's so many different levels to their mind tricks on this. And I want you to be aware of these hoes when you watch these movies. Like, it's called Ready Player One. Like, who's Player One? Like, it's so many different subliminal messages. And I watched this movie one time. This is what I got from it. But I'm not going to say it's a great movie. Like I said, I really didn't like it, but it had so many subliminal messages. But I did like the visuals. The visuals are fucking amazing, but the story was so trash. Like, it really was. Like, it was so fucking cheesy. But like I said, they be telling deeper stories than what they really be trying to put on the screen. So it don't always match up. Only like the true amazing directors know how to make it all match up. Something like Black Panther, how he told multiple stories into a whole Marvel movie. Like, it's really a gift sometimes. But Yeah, and some of these niggas don't got it, but they still got to get that money. So, but yeah, I'm out.